Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the threeohtake, where we talk all things Major League Baseball. Here's Kyle Corwin and Nate Reyes. It all starts right now.
Welcome back to the threeohtake, presented by SeatGeek. This is episode 482. I'll be your host, Kyle Corwin. I'm here with my co-host, Nate Reyes. Nate.
Yep. Still here.
It's commendable. It's commendable. The fact that you are showing up, despite what we've had to witness the last few nights.
It's honestly just embarrassing. Like, if you want like full truth honesty, I'm gonna root for them every game for my entire life. I'm always going to cheer for them. But like, I knew that this side of this Yankee team was present. I knew that this was in them. And it's like, it's just happening at like the worst part of the season. And it's embarrassing. Like I'm literally embarrassed.
I'll be honest with you. It's really like tip of the cap to the Dodgers for what they've been able to do. But it's so hard for me to even acknowledge like what they've been able to do well, because it's been so overshadowed by how poorly the Yankees have played.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to sit there and say that the Dodgers are not winning this series.
Yeah,
but it's a heck of a lot easier to sit here and say, well, the Yankees are losing this series.
Yeah. It's just lifeless, dude. Like, it's, I don't know, man. Like, I feel like I'm gonna wake up in a week and Soto is gonna be a Met, and it's just gonna be like that. That I feel, dude. I don't know if there's a window here. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if a 33-year-old Judge, a 34-year-old Stanton, like, I don't know what this is. I don't know if this is like the start of something. I don't think it is. I feel like they're lucky to be here. I feel like it was laid out for them to get to the World Series. And it's like, yeah, we can talk about how dominant the Dodgers are, and like, we got their B bullpen tonight, and Crochet is the one closing it down.
Kopech,
yeah. I'm sorry, but like, you get what I'm saying. Like, you're not even getting like like the best of them. Ohtani hasn't really done anything this series. Like, they're just really, really good. I think they're better than the Yankees. Obviously, it's a lot worse if the Yankees aren't doing anything.
I mean, be real with me here. I know you've been down and out on this team for the last few nights, but you had to expect that they were going to at least do something at home.
I did.
I mean, something.
I really did.
I'm not even counting, and we'll get to it obviously, but I'm not even counting that Verdugo home run. I mean, it was a 4-run game, but that's about as much of a garbage time home run as you can possibly have.
Yeah.
In that situation. So I'm not even, but it may as well have been a shutout. That was essentially a shutout, what we just witnessed.
Yeah.
And for them to come, I mean, we've talked about it, and he seems to have figured it out these last few starts. But I just felt like there was an opportunity there to pounce on Walker Buehler at home, and he goes
I mean, it's all there.
five
Like, it
scoreless.
makes sense on paper. Like, it makes sense on paper. This is what I'm saying, is that, like, this team does this. They've done this throughout the year. And I don't mean any disrespect to the Royals and the Guardians, but that's not what that's not the true test to, like, figure yourself out. I felt like they stumbled to the finish line, but the Orioles just stumbled more. So they won the division. I felt like they had a couple good moments in the DS and in the CS, but in reality, like, yeah, they're better than those teams. And then you get to this moment where you're like, you expected that level of an opponent out of the Dodgers, and this is one of the greatest teams ever put together. I genuinely think this is one of the greatest rosters baseball's ever seen. And they're not doing anything. No one's doing anything. Boone just rolls out the same lineup.
He said, I mean, everybody was calling for him to make just a slight change after game 2. Because, you know, that's ultimately when you drop the first 2, that's ultimately your chance to do anything. Because if you drop game 3, history tells you it's over. So, Boone, make a change. Everybody, all ages, all rooting interests, they were saying, hey, we're watching this series, whether we have a dog in the fight or not. We at least want to see some competitive baseball. So, Boone, maybe make a change. He said, no, let's run it back. And the thing that cracks me up is they were talking about Austin Wells tonight, getting a pinch hit. And they're talking about Boone's philosophy with that, or mindset with that. And he said, you know, I just feel like his moment's right there. He said the same thing about Aaron Judge.
He says the same thing over and over again about everybody throughout the year. It's just copy and paste.
Right. And
It's
my thing with Judge, it's like, okay, Boone, let's keep Judge in the 3-hole. And maybe if he heats things up over the next couple weeks, then we'll be right back where we want to be. Oh wait, you can't because you have a single game left.
I felt like this game was such a must-win because if you lose this game, you have to pitch Garrett Cole tomorrow. You have to. I don't care about normal rest. You're down 3-0. You have to throw Garrett Cole. So why not piggyback Luis Gil off of Clark Schmidt? The second Clark Schmidt starts getting into trouble, there's your second starter. Put him in. Because if you win that game, great. And then in my mind, if you win a game at home and then you follow it up with Garrett Cole and you win another game and you even this series up, that changes everything. But instead, it's Clark Schmidt 3 1/3, 3 2/3. Bullpen. And again, like, I guess we can give some credit to the bullpen for keeping it manageable and hoping that this offense would wake up at some point. But, like, oh my gosh, dude. Like, it's just, there's so much of this, like, stubbornness of, like, well, this is what we've done all year. It's got us here. No. I think you have to see Judge hit second or fifth. Like, there's got to be something to move. And You swap Soto and he at least gets some pitches to see. There's got to be something. There's got to be some kind of change. There's got to be something. Not just Trevino coming in for Wells. I think Oswaldo Cabrera is probably the most exciting player on this team. That guy is full of energy. Every time he touches the field, he makes impact. He has so much energy, and the bench is never used. The only pinch hitting that ever happens is at the catcher spot. That's it. You just throw the whoever didn't start at catcher, he's going to pinch hit for the catcher at some point in the 7th.
Hey, Boone's got his guys back. He knows they're just about to turn a corner. These guys are just about to turn a corner. Give them a few more games, even another week or two, and this team is going to be clicking. I'm telling you, they're going to be clicking. No, the reality of it is egos cost this Yankees team the World Series. It's as simple as that. Egos, everything that's being talked about right now on the national level, on these broadcasts, on social media, and these articles that you're reading, it all boils down to the fact that the Yankees lost this World Series, will lose this World Series because egos got in the way. Aaron Boone needs to actually make a decision, and I get the fallback is, well, he says the same thing all the time. Great. Well, you're in a World Series, so maybe change it up just for a couple of days. Aaron Judge, I don't care if he's the MVP. He's hitting like 100 right now. So maybe drop him in the lineup. That's it. But let's talk about a team that is pushing all the right buttons. Freddie Freeman, right there in the first. I mean, this guy's unstoppable. I mean, what did they say? It was like 40 something days having not hit a home run coming into this stretch that he's on, this tear that he's on right now, and he has 5 straight, which puts him in the company of George Springer as the only players with 5 consecutive home runs, or 5 homers in 5 consecutive games in the World Series.
Yep. Continues to get fastballs in. Make it make sense, man. I'm sorry, I'm struggling. It's he's incredible. He's really incredible. And I think what makes baseball this way is that, like, you're never going to have your whole lineup rolling at once. Like, it's rare. Maybe it's 1 or 2, maybe 3 games in a year where your whole lineup goes absolutely crazy. The depth is where it starts to really show everyone that, like, if Ohtani's not on, if Mookie isn't doing Mookie things, like, there's still so many other pieces. I think you could make your way around the diamond and argue that a lot of these names are like top 10 names at their position.
I mean,
and they're just so deep, and like someone's going to get you at some point. And right now it's just Freddie carrying the load. And when you have role players like Tommy Edman in the NLCS doing what he does, like, it's hard to beat, man. Like, even if the Yankees were firing on all cylinders, I don't know.
The thing with the offenses right now is, with the Dodgers, to your point, there's maybe 1 or 2 guys that went up to the plate. I would question whether or not they would do anything. With the Yankees, there's only 1 or 2 guys that went up to the plate, I believe, can actually do something.
Mm-hmm.
That's the reality of it. And it's showing up in the box score. This isn't some secret, but like you said, you go around the diamond with the Dodgers. pretty much anybody that steps up to the plate, you think could, at the very least, is getting extra bases.
Yeah.
And then you've got the home run threats of pretty much the entire top half of the lineup, maybe 2/3 of the lineup. But with the Yankees, the most predictable, and honestly, I was surprised they weren't more aggressive with guys like, because I know Judge got a walk, maybe 2, or at least had better at bats tonight. I mean, we'll get into his continued lack of performance, but he had better at bats. I'm surprised. I'm really surprised at the way they work some of these guys like Judge. I thought they'd be more aggressive against, because why not? And pretty much you go up and down that lineup. There's no reason not to be ultra aggressive. And I think Buehler was able to do that given how well he pitched tonight, and then obviously the pen up until that Verdugo home run. But I mean, I'm just, as somebody who doesn't have a dog in the fight, I'm increasingly disappointed, because this World Series started with so much promise. And now, I mean, we're talking about this thing going 7 before the series started, and then after game 1, we're going, okay, if this is the kind of theatrics that we're going to be dealt, this thing is going 6, if not 7. And now we're on the doorstep of a sweep. We're on the doorstep of a sweep. And like, to use a phrase that you've used in episodes past, like, I feel like as baseball fans, we deserve this. Like, you know, say what you will about the payroll, say what you will about the size of the markets. The reality of it is, these were the 2 teams that we were dealt in the World Series. Powerhouses. You know, the whole campaign they're pushing with these commercials, the whole 2 coasts, 1 crown thing that you keep seeing. That's what we have before us. And that's what we had at the start of this thing. But it has since become very, very lopsided. And it's just disappointing, because it's like, okay, if we're going to talk up this big mess about how electric this World Series is going to be, and we're dogging on people that don't want to watch the series, saying like, you're going to miss out on a heck of a show. And we baseball fans were on their soapboxes after game 1. And here we are, like I said, on the doorstep of a sweep. It's just, it's been kind of a letdown. And I'm sure Dodgers fans couldn't care less. Like, World Series title is going to be a World Series title, but it's just, the trajectory has evolved rapidly, and it just hasn't been fun. I'll be honest with you. Like, that, even in the 9th, like, what was it? Game 2, Yankees crawl back a little bit, and we talked about it. You know, we're sitting on the edge of our seats. Me, again, don't have a dog in the fight. I'm sweating a little bit tonight. It's just the trajectory of the series, like I said, has just plummeted. And tonight, even with that Verdugo home run, I'm sitting there going, I mean, they
I didn't move. I didn't budge. I didn't say anything.
And they panned the top step of the Yankees dugout, and it was just like, I'm not, take this as you will, but it seemed like very false hope, very like fake confidence. Like, you saw Soto like pound in I'm like, dude, you have no confidence in this thing being extended to extras or even a walk-off. So, you know, I just hope that game 4 holds a little something before this thing ultimately fizzles out, if that's the direction it's headed. But I mean, if this just if we get game 4 playing out the way that 2 and 3 have sort of played out, I don't know.
Yeah, man. I think just kind of going back to the beginning of the series, like, we talked about how important game 1 was for the Yankees specifically, just to be able to get to Flaherty first and get into the bullpen quick and disrupt the game plan. Dave Roberts hadn't have to do anything except just stick to the game plan. That's all it's been. the entire series is like, well, this is how we mapped it out, and it's going according to plan. It's like I said, man, it's honestly embarrassing and like infuriating because like I don't see this team going back unless there's drastic moves in the offseason. Like I don't really see it.
Well, I know you're hurting a little bit because it dawned on me just a few minutes ago that when you said earlier that you felt like this was one of the best rosters ever assembled, for some reason I thought you were talking about the Dodgers, but you were talking about this Yankees team.
No, I was definitely talking about the Dodgers.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was okay because I was a little.
Yeah.
I was a little confused there because in one breath you're saying like I think this is one of the best rosters ever assembled. And then you're like, well, we need to make drastic changes in the offseason. But okay, that makes more sense now. You were talking Dodgers, but
no, man, it's just like it's I don't even know. Jazz pisses me off like a lot. Just watching him complain and get like overly emotional, and he hasn't done anything. It's just like a couple things that could have gone a little bit differently would have helped a lot. Like, you know, just even like that Volpe foul ball off the wall down the right field line. Like if that stays fair, like you can sit there and say like there's a couple barrels. Maybe Luis Rojas doesn't send Stanton when Teoscar's holding the ball and going to be out by 6 steps. Like,
let's talk about that real quick. Objectively, terrible send, but I get
terrible
it.
send.
I get it. Like you have manufactured little to nothing. You got to try and make something happen. I just feel bad. Who's the third base coach for the Yankees?
Luis Rojas.
Oh yeah. I mean, I feel bad for him because it's like
he's not a good third base coach. He's done this a
Sure.
lot this year. Yeah, a lot of questionable sends.
It's like in his head, he's probably going, "Okay, this is an opportunity to make something happen," and then he quickly is reminded who's on base, and it's like, well, this is gonna not work out.
I think Smoltz said that like I think the Yankees have had. I think they've only had like 3 back-to-back hits the entire postseason.
Nate, I think I saw maybe one. I mean, say what you will about the home run, and I had jotted this down before pre-Verdugo home run. I think I saw maybe one professional at bat from the Yankees tonight.
Was that Rizzo single?
Rizzo single.
Yeah.
9 pitches.
He's actually looked decent.
He hasn't looked half bad
for a gimpy old man. He's looked okay.
9 pitch AB, muscles it out into shallow. What was that, right center? I mean, I saw that and I'm like, wow, it's a little refreshing. I mean, the Dodgers are just turning the lineup over every couple innings, but for the Yankees to put something together, that was, and by putting it together, I mean 1 hit.
There's no pests. Like the Yankees don't have any pesty type guys. Like you would want maybe a Jazz or a Volpe to like adopt that role in some kind of way. They're just all very swing and miss, a lot of strikeout and pull happy. And I've watched these, I want to say like these like seasons they get into throughout the season that like it's just this chapter where they all try to do the same thing and they all look the same. And there's no one in the lineup that really breaks it up in any way. Like I'm really impressed by Glaber. I think he's had really good ABs. Not that it would have changed anything, but that strikeout where Soto was on deck, like that was tough, man. Like that hurt. Like they were finally stringing stuff together. They had a chance, and like if there's ever a moment, you know, it's when Soto can have the bases loaded. Like and we were robbed of that moment on a bad strike call. But I can't like sit here and blame the whole game on that. I don't know, man. It's really tough to watch. I'm honest. Embarrassed is the only thing I can think of. It's the only word I can drum up.
Well, I'd be lying if I said it didn't bring me great joy to see hundreds, thousands of Yankee fans in the crowd just looking completely lost.
The crowd like really tried, man. Like they tried getting it going. Like they tried getting guys going. It's just like the play just never happened. The play never came. The at bat, the hit, like nothing ever came.
I usually get on the Yankee crowd, and for good reason at times, but I don't know what to tell you guys. Like, I mean, good for you guys for at least giving it what you had tonight, based on, you know, the way the series has gone so far, and especially the way tonight progressed, and as you as a fan base in the crowd progressed. But I don't know what to say. I can't dog the crowd, because I mean this Yankees team gave them nothing to work with. Nothing. And anytime, like you were saying, you were on the doorstep of stringing something together, immediately snuffed it out with a strikeout, with a non-competitive, non-competitive AB, whether it be a ground ball, a flyout, or whatever. Man, like I said, I mean,
I think Walker Buehler has successfully earned himself a contract, though. After having a rough year, I think he's earned himself a decent chunk of change. I'm not going to go crazy, but I would say he's earned himself a 3 or 4 year contract, and I would push it to 50, 60 mil.
Yeah, that's one I would play safe. I for sure has earned like something more than what he would have gotten prior to this. I think
he's looked good.
Yeah, but that's a guy I wouldn't get. I'm not saying you, but I'm saying like objectively,
I think you right now could go out and have a start like that and earn yourself a couple milli. What do you think?
Against this Yankees offense?
I think you had it in you.
I mean, the odds of them putting up some runs against me if Judge is on the bench is probably greater, because he probably would hurt the team the least if he's on the bench.
I really did. In my head, I was like, coming home, like I can feel the vibes, like I can Jeter throwing out first pitch. Like the Fat Joe performance was miserable, by the way.
Can we talk about this? Like, okay, horrendous. Sure, it's going to be a boomer take, whatever, fine. I'll try to acknowledge those when I can.
No, but we are boomers because we listened to Fat Joe when we were kids. Like,
none
of the kids know who he is now.
No. Don't get me wrong. This isn't nothing to do with Fat Joe. Grew up on Fat Joe. Love me some Fat Joe. All about Fat Joe. I saw Carabas said you may as well just try and give Fat Joe an AB at this point, and maybe turn the tides a little bit. Yeah, a lot of people saying Fat Joe doesn't compare to Ice Cube. We all know this. My point is, it's not about Fat Joe. Again, cannot stress enough. Love me some Fat Joe. However,
these are cringy.
This pregame concert thing that we're doing all of a sudden, like that cringy. Just started. Did we get this game 1? I don't remember this game 1. This was game 2 with Ice Cube, and then game 3 with Fat Joe.
And it felt to me like the Yankees were scrambling when like Ice Cube came out. Someone at Yankee Stadium was like, "Oh, we have 2 days to find somebody."
No, no. I want to say, because the Ice Cube thing was sort of last minute for me, like coming across that news, and I'm pretty sure I saw it in conjunction with Fat Joe. So I think that announcement may have been made like very close together.
All right.
Somebody said, "Well, they couldn't bring Diddy out."
Too soon. Too soon.
But yeah, this whole concept, like why is this becoming a thing? I don't know if I like it. I mean, you'd have to bring somebody out like an Ice Cube or somebody of that stature who like can legitimately get things going. Yeah. Otherwise, it's just very uncomfortable, and it really sets the tone before the game.
I think, yeah. I mean, I would guess that it's MLB being like, okay, maybe we have some first time viewers, and let's see if we can get them a little excited. But like the truth is, we never see that at any other point in baseball. And it's awkward. There's just no other way to say it.
I get it. It's the only time they can really do it. You're not bringing Ice Cube out. You're not bringing Fat Joe out in the seventh inning stretch. People are like, well, I'm going to go get some popcorn and peanuts, and Fat Joe's out there. I'm all the way. Yeah, like, just not going to.
Was that his song?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that was his song.
Dude, he's been riding that. Did he do, what's that other one?
I just remember that one. Well, I know Lean Back, but like there was another
that's
one.
The one. That's the one. Surprised we didn't get a little bit of Lean Back, maybe a little little spot of Make It Rain or something. I mean, interesting. But I'm not here to complain about that. I am here to complain about Aaron Judge, though. Nate, how many more times do I need to tell you? And I don't mean this. I don't mean any ill will. I'm upset on your behalf because I've seen how you really tried to hold out hope for this guy. But when are we going to accept the fact that this guy is just not cut out for the bright lights? And when I say bright lights, hear me out. I know he's a Yankee. I know he wears the pinstripes every game. I get that. And I know he's put up historic seasons thus far in his relatively early career. But the postseason is a different beast with this guy.
Yeah.
I mean, coming into tonight, he had 41 at bats this postseason alone, and he had struck out in 20 of them.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. Like, I think that's what sucks is I think they'll be back in the postseason. I don't know if getting back to the World Series without a full overhaul is in the near future. Has to be in the near future. Literally has to be in the near future. And that's what sucks the most is that like I think this is going to be, unless it's next year, this is going to be like potentially the lasting taste of what we have with Judge in the World Series or Judge in the postseason, man. Like I don't know. Like I know everyone. I know every Yankee fan and everyone in the comment section's like, you got to re-sign Soto, but like this team needs a lot of help. Like there's a lot of holes in this roster, and re-signing him limits the amount of holes they can be plugged.
How much, because, we sort of speculated before the World Series started, how much do you think the way this World Series has gone has impacted Juan Soto's signability in the offseason for the Yankees?
I think it's definitely hurt. Like getting to if he hadn't won a World Series already, it'd be a different story. The fact that he's won one, the fact that he's done so well, and the fact that the rest of the roster has sucked, I think it's hurt. I think it's embarrassing. I think that he has spent pretty much all season in Judge's shadow. He spent the ALCS, despite big moments, in Stanton's shadow. And now it's just like, now he's ready to walk. That's what it feels like. I don't know. And part of me is like, I think I'm crazy to say I don't want them to re-sign Soto, but like I said, like you got to solve some issues. The back end rotation needs help. The bullpen needs help. Glaber is set to be a free agent. Verdugo, so like we have a hole in left field now. Like Rizzo's 1 year older. DJ LeMahieu seems to be washed up. Like, is Jazz the real answer? Like, there's a lot of question marks. And if you go and spend 38 or 42 AAV on Soto, like that really handcuffs you. And then you have to kind of wait out the Stanton contract. You kind of have to wait out the Cole contract. I know there's an opt out there, but like then you're talking about being ready again in 3 or 4 years. And those guys are pushing 36, 37. Like I just don't see it.
We still got one game left. We don't need. There's one game left in this World Series. I don't need you running me through the Yankees offseason plans just
All
yet.
I'm saying is just I think it's hurt the idea of re-signing Soto. I think it's hurt Soto. And he could go across town and get every dollar he asked for and be the guy and be adored and arguably have a better core, a younger core.
I got to agree with you. I mean, I think you're crazy if you say out loud like, "Oh, this team shouldn't or just any team shouldn't re-sign Juan Soto." I understand that sounds crazy, but to your point, it's like
it doesn't solve the issue. Him gone means Judge can move back to right field. It means that a Jason Dominguez can play every day in center field. It means that they can go get a true left fielder, probably someone, a little bit more athletic. Like, you can spend that money on Glaber to bring him back. Like, there's some things that they can do in the rotation. Like, there's a lot. You're talking 40 AAV, potentially 50 towards just one guy. Like, there's a lot you can do with that.
And you're talking about a season this year that featured two rather historic seasons.
Right.
Collectively, one of the more historic duo efforts in baseball history between Judge and Soto. And it was, I mean, we're one game short of it being all for naught. And
all for naught.
And
you can run these numbers. It just so happens that the Soto and Stanton numbers that the graphic that they showed them two versus the rest of the lineup, how it's, there's nothing coming from the rest of the lineup. You can do that the whole season with Soto and Judge and then look at the rest of the lineup and it's a drastic change. It's a drastic drop off. It just so happens that now Judge and Stanton have swapped productive spots and Soto remains Soto. The lineup needs help, man. The lineup can't hang. And that's why a Flaherty, a half rehabbed Yamamoto and seemed to be washed up Walker Buehler is carving these guys up and mowing them down. This lineup's not very good.
You combine a not so good lineup with Luis Gil going in Game 4.
I think it's got to be Cole. I think it's crazy if it's not Cole.
Well, they pretty much already said that that's not necessarily an option.
I don't see how. He threw 87 pitches 4 days ago. That's enough rest. I watched CC go ridiculous starts on 2 days rest in 09. I've seen pitchers do this.
Dude, we're getting house money out of the Dodgers efforts the next game plus. Talk about Dave Roberts has to be loving life right now. Like, you are literally, you can do literally whatever you want. Honestly, not that he would do this, but you could give your lineup a day off. And be like, we'll come back.
That's true. He could. I was thinking that in my head. I was like, I wonder if you give Ohtani the day off.
Give some of those guys a day off. Say, we'll punt. We'll come back Game 5. Honestly, the Dodgers could punt Game 4, give some guys some rest. They'd probably still sweep. That's the way this series is going. That's the way this series is going. You could sit Ohtani. You could sit Betts. You could sit Freddie on that bum ankle. You still go out there and win the game. Yeah. That's the way this series is going. And that's why, like I said, Dave Roberts has to be loving life right now. And like you were saying, saw maybe some different arms in the pen. You could toy around with that the next night or two if it gets that far. Nate, I'm disappointed in the way this series has gone.
You and me
I mean,
both.
well, yeah, you for obvious reasons, but I was talking my mess on social, man. I mean, people were like, I don't care about this World Series. And I'm like, okay, then go do what you're going to do. Honestly, those people are kind of
Right.
coming out looking like the smarter minds here.
I did say Yankees in 7. So that prediction is still technically alive.
You think Boone is showing them all like the Red Sox 04 documentaries in the clubhouse tonight? He's done. You laugh. He's done that already. He literally what was the context? Was it like last postseason or something?
No, we weren't in it last year.
Okay, was it 2 years ago? I swear he's done this before, where he was talking to the guys in the clubhouse about the 04 Red Sox, somehow forgetting who was on the other side of that.
Dude, sucks.
But to your point, it could go 7.
It could go 7.
You're not wrong. That's still in the mix. I said Dodgers in 6. I'm looking like an idiot at this point, but I don't know, man. I guess buckle up for possibly one more baseball game this year. Sad. I thought we were gonna make it to Halloween. I don't even think we're gonna make it to Halloween.
Yeah.
Respect to the Dodgers, though. They understand that baseball shouldn't be played in November. Baseball, wrap it up by Halloween. And they said, we got you. Baseball shouldn't be played in March. Like baseball that counts. Shouldn't be played in March. And it shouldn't be played in November. That's just me.
Yeah, take some of these off days out of the postseason, please. Just a few.
We got buckle up, baseball fans. Like I said, we got maybe one game left. So soak it up, soak it in, enjoy it. And give me a prediction for game 4.
I don't want to.
Give me a prediction.
I'm not saying anything.
Because for the last week, it seems Jeter and A-Rod think that Judgy's going to bust out. So there's nothing wrong with maybe running with a prediction that doesn't really pan out, because that's what these guys are doing too, and they played in the big leagues.
I think the Yankees win game 4. I think Soto, Verdugo get a bop each.
Tommy in the chat says Ohtani goes 3 for 4 with 2 homers and 5 ribbies.
And I think Freddie gets the record for 6.
You think he gets it? I like it. I'm going to say the one prediction I'm absolutely counting on. If you're a
Judge
betting,
is going to hit 2.
If you're a betting fan, no, not even hitting 2. He
I didn't say what he's going to hit. I just said he's going to hit 2. He's going to make contact with 2 balls tomorrow.
Write it and carve it in stone. It's either happening. Boone's either doing it tonight or he's doing it first thing in the morning, because it's his favorite thing to do. My prediction for game 4, Judgy's getting penciled in at the 3-hole. That's my prediction for game 4. What a joke, dude. Read the room. Have some feel, Booney. My goodness. I'm gonna say that the Nope. I'm walking that back. This thing's over. This
All
thing's
done.
over. Tonight, you had first game back home in this series. Yeah, you had to come out and put something up. And like I said, I don't even count that Verdugo home run. This may as well have been a shutout. You did nothing. I have no hope for the Yankees.
2-1 would have like actually felt decent. Like I would have felt like decent if the series was 2-1. 3-0 is devastating, especially in the way it happened.
I feel like for our first time viewers, stop.
Should we say something to the first time viewers?
What are you doing?
Just preparing.
Stop. No. This is a family program.
What should we say to the first time viewers?
First time viewers probably listen to this thinking I'm some sort of Yankee, some closet Yankees fan. I'm really not. I'm just the reality of this series is, and we'll kind of wrap it here. The reality of this series is that
There
the
has
Yankees
to be some
are
type of marketable thing to happen.
Yeah, the Yankees are solely responsible for the tone of this World Series, the trajectory of this World Series. The Dodgers are just doing the Dodgers are just checking the boxes. Dodgers are taking it inning by inning. Okay, this is what we have to do. We have to strike Judge out again. Okay, we have to. Oh, there's a runner on base. Let's drive him in. Okay, the Yankees are responsible for the reason this series is, like I said, on the doorstep of a sweep. The Dodgers are just doing what they're asked. And that's to handle a pretty mediocre team right now. So
you're not wrong, guy.
I've got Dodgers in 4. This thing's over. Sharpie. We'll see you next year.
I got no fight in me. Tried using our pizza oven for the first time tonight. And it burned because it stuck to the stone and I couldn't spin it because the dough on one side was so doughy and then the other side burned.
Poor kid can't catch a break.
And it was, I'm not kidding, it was about 12 seconds after Stanton got hosed at the plate that I just see my pizza going up in flames.
Are you serious?
I'm not kidding. I'm not kidding. I wish I was.
The kid can't even eat a pizza.
I really, really wish I was kidding.
Oh no! All right, well, we need to get you to bed.
I'm gonna go find some cookie dough. Crush that.
Tough.
It's not a good look.
Yeah, it's rough.
Yeah, if anyone's new and wants to see our miserable faces more often, go subscribe on my miserable face. Your face is great. But if you want to go, if you like us, sometimes you would want to subscribe on YouTube.
Nate's much better when things are like not even going good, just like not going this bad.
Not going this bad. Yeah,
this bad. So lock it in on YouTube if you're a first time viewer, first time listener. Check us out on YouTube, and for as long as this series goes, which most likely will be one more game, check us out on our live streams right after the game. As soon as the game's over, you can find us right here on my Twitter, on the threeohtake Facebook, and the threeohtake YouTube, and ride this thing out with us. Because hopefully it'll be a little more fun than it's been these last couple games. I'm not counting on it, but we'll keep it entertaining for you guys. We'll wrap this season up as well as we can for you guys. Can't say the same thing about the Yankees, but that's Nate's responsibility. Got anything else?
I'm dead inside. Don't go chasing curveballs.
We love you all, and as always, looking forward to talking more baseball with you guys soon. Until next time, stay filthy.